Someone cut you off in traffic this morning, and you're still thinking about it, not consciously, but it's there, a low hum of irritation that's been running since it happened. You told yourself you let it go. You didn't, one minor thing, hours ago. Still controlling you? If you can't stop that, you don't control your life. You're just reacting to it. Most people never notice this pattern. That's why it runs their life. Here's what nobody's telling you. You've been more emotionally stable than this before. You know what calm feels like, but you can't access it when you need it most. By the way, this isn't about controlling your emotions. Control creates tension. What I'm going to show you works by releasing the need for control entirely. The Japanese had a discipline for this, a state the samurai trained to maintain whether facing battle or sitting in silence. Not suppression, not performance, something rarer. Heijōshin, the ability to remain internally unchanged no matter what's happening externally, to bring chaos down to the level of your mind instead of rising to meet it. By the end, you'll apply this once tomorrow, in traffic, in a tense conversation, or when something breaks. And you'll feel the shift immediately. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why you collapse under pressure and the one practice that makes you unshakable. If this already feels necessary, you belong here. Consider subscribing and walk this path with the Last Ronin. This morning, something small went wrong. Email you didn't expect. Message that felt sharp, task that got moved at the last second. Nothing catastrophic. Just irritating, and your whole system spiked, heart rate up, jaw tight. Mind immediately running scenarios, not because the situation was serious, because your nervous system treats everything like an emergency. Notice what your body just did while I said that. You've been running hot for so long you don't even notice it anymore. Later, someone asked you a simple question, and you snapped, not loud, not dramatic, just a little sharper than necessary. They noticed, you noticed, and now you are thinking about it. Why did I react like that? Because you are not calm. You are managing, and management has a breaking point. Right now, you are at your desk trying to focus, but your mind is scattered across 6 different things. The deadline, the text you haven't answered, the thing you said earlier that came out wrong, the notification you just saw. None of them urgent, all of them pulling. So you are not present, you are fractured, reacting to everything, grounded in nothing. You think you are handling it because you are still functioning. But functioning isn't the same as stable. You are one unexpected thing away from collapse, and you know it. This is the mistake that keeps you reactive for years. This afternoon, something will go wrong. It always does, and when it does, you won't respond calmly. You'll spike not because you are weak, because your baseline is already elevated. You are walking around at a 7, so when pressure hits, you are at a 10 instantly. No room, no buffer, no stability. You go to bed tonight, still carrying tension from this morning. Wake up tomorrow already tired, not from the work, from the constant state of emergency your nervous system lives in. This is your pattern. Not stress, reactivity. You are not responding to life. You are being controlled by it. And every day this continues, you lose more sovereignty over your own state. This is where you get stuck. The Last Ronin walks into battle with the same internal state he has drinking tea, not because battle doesn't matter, because his mind doesn't rise to meet external chaos. You think that is detachment. It is not. It is Heijōshin, the practice of maintaining an ordinary mind in extraordinary circumstances. This is where most men misunderstand calm. The samurai didn't train to stay calm under pressure. They trained to feel no pressure internally regardless of what was happening externally, not suppression. Not forced composure, just an undisturbed baseline. Right now, you are doing the opposite. You are letting every external event dictate your internal state. Traffic. Spike. Criticism. Spike. Unexpected change. Spike. The Ronin doesn't spike, not because nothing bothers him, because his mind is trained to return to baseline immediately. Someone insults him, he hears it, processes it, returns to calm. Battle approaches. He sees it, prepares, remains internally unchanged. Uncertainty ahead, he acknowledges it, moves forward, stays grounded. You don't live like this, you let everything in. And once it is in, it stays. You carry irritation from the morning into the afternoon. Carry tension from work into your evening. Carry yesterday's frustration into today. Your nervous system has no reset mechanism, so you accumulate, and accumulation becomes your baseline. If this is already naming something you feel, stay with me. The old warriors had a saying, the mind that moves with every wind is never still. Your mind moves with every notification, every comment, every minor disruption. And because it is always moving, it is never stable. Heijōshin isn't about controlling what happens. It is about remaining unchanged by what happens. Not cold, not indifferent, just undisturbed. You lost this. Somewhere in the constant stimulation and endless alerts and 24/7's reactivity, you forgot how to return to baseline. Now your baseline is chaos, and you wonder why you can't think clearly when it matters. Your nervous system is designed to react, not because you are broken. Because reactivity used to keep you alive. Threat appears, system spikes, you survive. But now there are no threats, just emails, notifications, opinions, changes, and your system can't tell the difference. So it spikes anyway. Watch what happens. Phone buzzes. You haven't even seen what it is yet, but your system is already moving. Cortisol, adrenaline, attention shift. Simone disagrees with you online system. Threat, respond, defend. You are not choosing this. It is automatic. A meeting gets moved. System. Disruption. Stress. Emergency. It is not an emergency. It is a calendar change. But your body doesn't know that. Notice how many times this happened just today, and because you never trained it to distinguish between actual danger and minor inconvenience. It treats everything like danger. This is why you are exhausted, not from the events, from the spikes. Your nervous system is running a marathon every day while you are sitting at a desk. And you can't turn it off because you never learned how. So you manage it, caffeine to push through alcohol, to come down, scrolling to numb. None of it works, because you are not addressing the pattern. You are just medicating the reactivity. And every time you spike without returning to baseline, you train your system that spiking is normal. So your new baseline becomes elevated, and elevated becomes who you are. You call it being passionate or caring deeply, but you are just dysregulated. And dysregulation makes you weak, because when real pressure arrives, you have nowhere to go. You are already maxed out from the minor stuff. Stay with me. This changes how tomorrow works. Here is what the Ronin knows that you refuse to accept. Your internal state is not determined by external events. It is determined by how quickly you return to baseline after external events. Everyone spikes. That is not the problem. The problem is you stay spiked. Someone cuts you off in traffic, you spike. Fine, but 3 hours later you are still carrying it. That is not the traffic's fault. That is your system's inability to reset. Here is the law, train the return, not the reaction. You can't control what spikes you, but you can control how fast you come back down. That is Heijōshin, not immunity to disruption. Rapid recovery from disruption. This is the shift that separates regulated men from reactive ones. Most people spend their lives trying not to get triggered. Impossible. Life triggers. That is what it does. The samurai didn't avoid triggers. They trained to return to calm faster than the trigger could destabilize them. Spike, return, spike, return. Until return became automatic, until their baseline was unshakable. Here is how you start, tomorrow, when something spikes you, and it will. Don't try to stay calm, let the spike happen, feel it fully. Then practice the return. 3 deep breaths, slower than feels natural, not to suppress the emotion, to signal your nervous system. This is not an emergency. 1 rep of return, do this 10 times tomorrow, and you are training Heijōshin, not perfection, not immunity, just faster recovery. That is the entire practice. Spike, acknowledge. Return, spike, acknowledge. Return over and over until your system learns. We don't stay here. And once your system learns that, everything changes. Not because life gets easier, because you get stable. Traffic, someone cuts you off. You spike, old pattern, stay angry, replay it, let it affect the next hour. New pattern, feel the spike. Notice it. 3 breaths. Return to baseline, not suppression, recovery, notification, phone buzzes, bad news, criticism, something unexpected. Old pattern, immediate reaction, type response, stay activated, new pattern, read it, feel the spike, close the phone. 3 breaths. Decide response from baseline, not from spike. Meeting, someone challenges you publicly, unfairly. Old pattern, defend immediately. Stay elevated the rest of the meeting. New pattern, hear it, spike internally. Pause, return. Respond from calm, not from defense. The response is better because it is not contaminated by activation. Deadline, everything's due, pressure's high. System wants to panic. Old pattern, let panic drive. Move fast. Think poorly. Make mistakes. New pattern, acknowledge the pressure. Don't rise to meet it. Bring it down to your baseline. Work from there. Pressure doesn't decrease. Your reactivity to it does. Conflict, someone's upset with you, conversations tense. Old pattern, match their energy, escalate. Stay tense for hours after a new pattern. Let them spike. You don't stay at baseline, respond clearly. End conversation still calm. You are not cold, you are regulated. And regulated wins. Here is what changes when you train the return. You stop carrying yesterday into today. You stop letting minor things control your state. You stop spiking at everything. Old you was reactive. Every event moved you. New you returns. Events happen, you remain. Old you needed everything to go smoothly to stay calm. New you stays calm regardless of how things go. Old you collapsed under pressure because your baseline was already high. New you has room because your baseline is stable. This isn't confidence. This is Heijōshin. Sovereignty over your internal state. People sense it before they understand it. You don't react the same way anymore. Don't escalate. Don't spiral. Something goes wrong and you just handle it, not because you are unaffected, because you return faster than it can destabilize you. And they'll ask, how do you stay so calm? You won't have a dramatic answer. You just trained the return. That is it. Spike return. Repeat. Until return became automatic. Until your mind stayed ordinary, even when circumstances weren't. That is Heijōshin. And once you have it, pressure stops controlling you. Because your internal state is no longer determined by external chaos. It is determined by you. The Last Ronin doesn't avoid pressure. He doesn't suppress reaction. He returns to baseline faster than pressure can move him. And what remains is stability. If this hit you uncomfortably, you belong here. Consider subscribing and walk this path with the Last Ronin. The return is waiting.